and $2,500 a month for something decent. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about economics. Hey, anybody listening on the mic, do you see rents and mortgages on anything going below that $1,500 to $2,500? Because I don't. I'm not anything to do with Pelosi, thank you. Pelosiosexual? Pelosi sexuals? Oh, Pelosi's massive grandmommy milkers. I see.
I think Dave just stole my erection for the next fortnight.
I think talking about Dave stealing your erection stole my erection.
That's probably also fair. Stolen erections are nothing to joke about, man.
I know.
They have massive consequences.
Yeah, you can get kicked off YouTube.
Those consequences are huge. Good morning.
Yes, it is indeed a good morning. We have
Stryker says I call dibs on jokes that fall flat. You mean like Pelosi's massive grandmommy milkers?
Hey, look, you got to think from Paul Pelosi's perspective, since he probably sees 3 of those things with the average amount of alcohol in his system. That's yes.
Paul, pro tip, my man. At your age, one of those nipples is a belly button.
Right. Well, no. No, at his age, she's had plastic surgery. He's taken Viagra.
That's fair.
And, like, his beer goggles are more like gin goggles, so...
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Okay. All right. So,
That's gin with a G.
Right. Well, you never know, man. The people in D.C. are weird.
They are.
Okay, so let's say good morning to some people and then have some fun and then talk about some stuff that we need to laugh at so we don't cry.
Indeed.
Is that a good summary?
Indeed. So you want to start with the good mornings? And I actually need to check something on my phone real quick before we commit to doing a little bit longer show this morning because it looks like we might need to.
Or we could just get through it.
We can try. Go.
Pelosi's massive grandmommy milkers. Look, I'm just going to call you Dave. Continue to come back with your amazing nicknames that make us chuckle. But good morning, Dave. So that was a nerdy sci-fi reference, too.
Oh.
James Wilbanks. Scrimshaw Rose. Good morning, good morning. Sean Stryker. Good morning. Dave Bowen. I'm up too early. Yeah, go cry in your coffee. Scrimshaw Rose, good morning. Pit Danny, good morning. Oh, look, Dave Bowen's mad because Scrimshaw says we can hear you, Chris and Cam. Yeah, that's a thing that started a long time ago on accident, and we just decided to keep doing it on purpose. Like, I promise, we know the mic is hot.
We did not until recently know that the mic was hot in the after show piece, and we've done away with that. Also on purpose.
So that was the original gag, was that the mic would be shot hot in the after show. But anyhow, let's see.
Thinking about bringing it back.
Megan. Good morning, Megan Wilbanks. Let's see.
There's Dad. There's Majesty.
Good morning. Oh, and then the Fit Life with Danielle. Hello, hello. Crackshot is with us. Patricia Barrett. Good morning, good morning. And I think that's it. Hey, super quick. I would just like to thank both your parents, your dad for killing the moose and your mom for cooking the moose. And honestly, you for bringing me a plate of moose.
You're welcome.
It was. I've honestly been thinking of a really cheesy dad pun, and I just can't. Moose is not. It doesn't. It's not as conducive. Like I was gonna say, it's moose-delicious or something. But look, it was good. Thank you.
It was Hungarian moulash.
That's as close as I could come. But that wasn't. But it wasn't terribly funny. Anyhow, thank you. It was delicious. It was. Yeah, it was delicious. Absolutely, 100%. And luckily, there's like 99 more pounds of it, so I strongly suspect I'll get to eat more moose.
There's like 96 more pounds. She made a lot of goulash.
Well, look,
Oh, and hey, they're walking to the door. I had not planned on that. That's going to cut into my planned timing.
I was saying thank you for the moose, and turns out you guys weren't watching.
So what did you think?
It was delicious.
It was awesome.
It was fantastic. Look.
Oh, my mother brought me muffins for breakfast. Okay, if I'm being fair, it's probably more fair to say that my mother brought us a muffin.
If you want more, you come over afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not going to have time. I'm going to have to walk out the door as soon as the show's over this morning. But thank you.
Well, Granddad's probably going to take some hunting with him when he
Roger
goes
that. Sergeant Major just can't get enough trigger time lately.
Hey, you practice, you execute. You execute, you practice.
Well, we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, get back in front of a monitor. We got some good stuff this morning. Love you.
Love you too.
Oh, you won't be able to hear it in here because we got the headphones. So.
Hey guys.
Bye guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So let's watch this clip while I eat this muffin.
Well,
Okay, go ahead. Tee it up.
Okay, so sometimes it's just fun to watch things happen to people, to Schadenfreude, and so would you guys like to see somebody get what they deserve? Isn't it fun when obnoxious people have something obnoxious happen to them? Have you ever seen the Arizona Twisted Tea thing?
Yes.
It's just one of the
Stoosh.
Yes, the white guy, drunk as a skunk, keeps calling the black guy in line behind him the N-word, and finally he just lays him out, and it's like, oh, instant karma.
Have you cold drink?
Karma in a microwave.
Okay, so who is this guy, Cameron?
So
who is this terrorist?
This guy is part of an animal rights activist group that hey, they're not going to stop until every animal is free, Chris. Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow, let's watch this, and then we'll. See from that angle, but
That's better than the Best Buy play.
I think that
He's still going.
That's right. Bobby Wagner's putting in his application to Best Buy.
Yeah, so that was on Monday Night Football. Shit like that would at least make me think about watching Monday Night Football again. Think, right? Think.
And guys, I'm sorry. I know it's
No, don't talk with the food in your mouth.
on the air and
Don't talk
my
with the
mouth
food
full,
in the mouth.
But I just cannot let this thing get cold.
I can cover this. Like, just don't talk with food
Please
in your
do.
mouth. Anyhow, so just to give you a little backstory here. See, now they're home and they're watching. It's like 25 seconds long. Can you play it one more time for them so they can see? Because it's just.
I dropped it.
Oh well, okay, that's fine. Well, they can keep it on the replay. All right, so protester, and I deliberately pulled this from the HuffPo so we can have the most sympathetic story possible for the protester. Protester seen in viral Monday night football tackle video files police report. Oh,
Because of course.
fucking of course. The protester at the center of a video showing Los Angeles Rams player Bobby Wagner, not all heroes wear capes, and Taquarist McKinley teaming up to stop him as he ran around the field has filed a police report following the viral takedown.
Real man of genius.
The man whom animal rights groups Direct Action Everywhere identified as Alex Taylor. Animal rights group Direct Action Everywhere, the DAE? Sure. Ran onto the field as a protester in a game between the 49ers and the Rams on Monday Night Football. Taylor, one of two activists from a group who ran onto the field, was chased by security while he held a device that emitted pink smoke before Wagner and McKinley came in from the sidelines to bring his run to a halt. That's some interesting phrasing there. Taylor has since filed a police report with the Santa Clara Police Department, TMZ first reported, and multiple outlets have since confirmed. A representative speaking on behalf of Taylor and fellow protester Allison Flutie told KPIX TV that the man tackled by Wagner is considering his options, including legal action against the players involved in the NFL. Let's see. The group has also done open rescue protests where members have been arrested and charged with felonies for taking animals from farms. So, felony theft, okay? A representative of Taylor's group deemed the encounter with the football players with blatant assault. Yeah, that's what it was. Wagner told reporters on Wednesday he's aware of the police report, can't really focus on it. Wagner said, I'm more concerned about the security guard that was hurt trying to chase him. Oh, man, that's brilliant PR. We don't know what that smoke is. You got to do what you got to do. Also, brilliant PR. And then Chase video showed 49, blah, 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 blah. Look, here's the deal, okay? First of all, if you're going to protest by doing illegal activity even, I'm not going to exactly say that's fine, but I'm going to say I understand why you at least might think that was fine. But by the same token, you know, when for example, Martin Luther King would get arrested for trying to dine at a lunch counter he wasn't supposed to dine at, he would actually get arrested. That's just part of the consequence of the actions. Now, in a case like this, and Chris and I were talking about this in the show prep, according to the law, and probably ethically as well, if you rob a store with a BB gun that looks like a real gun, or you rob a store with an actual gun, they're basically the same thing. You've used a weapon, you've used the intimidation and the threat of death to rob the store. Well, you've got a nut job wearing a homemade shirt running out onto the field with what could just be a smoke grenade, or it could actually be a bomb. You don't know. And finally, let's just throw all that aside. It wasn't that long ago where nobody would be on the protesters' side. Everybody would be on Bobby Wagner's side. Like, you mess with the bull, and then you get the horns. It wasn't that long ago where if you picked a fight and you got knocked the hell out, the guy that knocked you out might actually still go to jail. But nobody really felt sorry for you. And in this case, when you're going to pick a fight with quite literally some of the strongest men on the planet while they're in full armor, what did you think was going to happen? I dare say...
I think I would expect to get run over.
I dare say he's lucky that Bobby Wagner didn't break him in half. Like, you notice how little effort he put into that? That was a controlled strike. That was
right.
that was Mike Tyson hitting you with 75% of his punching power as opposed to 100.
Right. And it's I don't know what the stats on Bobby Wagner are, but he's a linebacker, right? So I'm assuming he's at least 230, 240 pounds, this dude, before he puts on his kit. And this kid's running out here, $160 maybe. Let me tell you something, guys. For everybody who's ever told you that if you have technique, size doesn't matter,
they lie.
They're wrong. They're painfully wrong.
Technique helps, but so does size.
Yeah, you can do a lot with technique. What you can't do with technique is lift 300 pounds. For that, you need raw, brute strength. Or a substantial fulcrum. And this guy has neither. So it didn't work out for him. Now, we spent enough time on that. Okay.
Yeah, it was funny.
So I'm gonna go ahead and queue up the next article while I fix the apparently frozen video. Cameron, you wanna read that headline and get us started there?
Not Twitter.
Oh yeah, I guess we can hop to Twitter first.
Okay. Look, in news that doesn't surprise me, Elon is actually going to buy Twitter?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. So the problem is while you're fixing, I can't scroll.
Oh. Well, for some reason.
It's remaining frozen. That one's not me. The camera's actually off.
Yeah, I see that. And I'm doing a whole lot of what the hell over here because...
Well...
Okay.
Oh, no, camera I think is back on. Yeah, in unsurprising news, the deal with Twitter is going to go through.
Scrimshaw says I heard he already bought it. Not quite yet. But here's the funny bit. Okay, so we're not entirely certain exactly why things have changed. But it seems to have something to do with some leaked messages between See, now the story's all muddled. I'm not entirely sure. I think the leaked messages were between the current CEO, Agrawal, and the previous CEO, the Gandalf the Stoned.
Oh, I was going to say Patchouli the Dirty.
I mean, did you see Jack Dorsey when he addressed Congress? He looked nastier than the wizard with the bird shit in his hair. Anyway, Elon has made a surprise offer to close his original deal to buy Twitter for a whopping $44 billion, a seeming admission of defeat and bid to avoid a court trial over the hotly contested agreement sources told the Post.
Oh, a defeat.
It
Elon
sounds
was
like
defeated.
it sounds like a defeat, but he's about to get what he wanted.
Well, not only that, the guy that just paid $44 billion for anything probably was not defeated in that process.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to write a check for $44 billion. I'm sorry. It's like, I can't even think of an adequate analogy for it. It's just because that's one of those things that's beyond an expectation that you generally have. But here's what makes it
Yeah, I'd feel like
amusing.
hot shit if I wrote a $44,000 check for something.
Right. So here's Occupy Democrats. Breaking: right-wing billionaire Elon Musk, right-wing. The right-wing extremist that invented electric cars. You sycophants. The right-wing billionaire Elon Musk announces that he will move forward with his $44 billion deal to buy Twitter so that he can fix, scare quotes, the website, which appears to mean letting the Nazis, insurrectionists, and QAnon freaks run wild. So, first off, I'd just like to point out, Occupy Democrats, what's your problem with Nazis? Do you not support the Ukraine? I thought you were all flying that new Nazi flag, for the Ukraine that's fighting against the communists. Because, communists like Vladimir Putin are bad guys. I know. I know. The smoke coming out of your ears makes you look like a walking gravity bong. But, here it is. So Occupy Democrat says Tribal is shaping up to be a suitable alternative to Twitter if and when Elon Musk buys Twitter. You can download the new Tribal app here to start inviting and adding your friends as we prepare for the mass exodus. Wait. So
they can start
all the
their own
lefties are going to
platform?
quit Twitter? That is hilarious. Tribal is anti-Nazi, they say. Okay.
They can't help themselves. They called it tribal.
That's what I was about to get to. Oh, wait. No, there's no echo. There's no ecosphere. There's no bubble. We're totally plugged in and we know what's going on. Your new platform is called Tribal.
Yeah, but spelled differently because we're clever.
Oh yeah. Oh, is it Tribble?
Nope. No Star Trek jokes this morning. We can go a few days without those.
Because trans mutilated and aborted children don't reproduce like fluffy little monsters.
No, actually, it might have been some years since you see the original episode. In The Trouble with Tribbles, there was a Klingon saboteur who had undergone reconstructive surgery, so he did not look like a Klingon.
Right.
But the Tribble could still correctly identify him.
Oh dear.
As a Klingon.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's almost like no matter how much reconstructive surgery you go through, your base components.
Right. Well, total tangent. I think my favorite episode of all Star Trek ever was, I think it was the Deep Space Nine episode where they ended up going back in time. And
The Tribbles.
They did it by superimposing the current actors over scenes from the Trouble with Tribbles episode, and it was freaking genius. I mean, that
Plus,
was.
you got to watch Terry Farrell and that skirt they used to wear.
But you want to talk about some super high skill editing?
Anyhow, but look, it's going to go through. This doesn't surprise me personally. The fact that they're reeing to the hills. Again, none of this is surprising. I think it's informative, and I think it's very telling, and I think it's something that we should remember and keep in our back pocket. But at the same time, it's just not surprising. Like, Elon, for some time, has appeared to want to have you could argue even that it's sinister that he wants to have like this technology company that can just do everything, right? Like, it's no accident that he's going to space and he's building electric cars and he wants to make a version of the Matrix where you could just jack things directly into your brain. And one of the things he would need would be an online platform that would allow people to communicate in real time, uncensored. So you could argue that he's willing to even have Twitter be like a loss because it fits into his grand scheme of wanting to be able to communicate with your brain waves from the moon back to Earth. And that's only a slight exaggeration. But I mean, the thing is he said, and I think this is really what it boils down to. This is always what it boils down to. When we finally go back and actually talk about the Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker situation, it's Trump, man. It's Trump. Trump broke them. Now, Elon said that he would reinstate Trump to Twitter. And they call Elon right-wing. He's right-wing on some things. He's pretty left-wing on some other things. But what Elon is he believes in meritocracy, and he believes in free speech. And if you want to say that meritocracy and free speech are right-wing values, I will let you.
I accept. But yeah, Elon's effectively a basic bitch libertarian.
Right? But because he's principled, he's going to let Donald Trump back. He didn't say he likes Donald Trump. He didn't say he was going to vote for Donald Trump. He just said, okay, free speech is as free speech does.
Yeah.
So we'll put Donald Trump back on the platform. And that's the thing that's making these liberals lose their mind.
He basically said the UCLA was right. If the Black Panthers get to march, then so do the KKK. Doesn't matter if you like either of them. The First Amendment is the First Amendment is the First Amendment.
And to be clear,
Being
I like
a shithead
neither.
Doesn't make you not an American.
And to be clear, I like neither.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of any ethno supremacist group.
Yeah, it's about that's it exactly. Like ethno supremacist. Oh, good job. That there's a position that took nothing to come to.
Right.
Good job. How do you identify your tribe? Oh, they look like me.
If you want to feel or believe that you're better than other people, accomplish things. You know, get some degrees, learn some languages. I don't know, fight a war and kill some bad guys. Sprout a sack and get off your ass and go do something valuable. If you want to feel superior, maybe you need some resume building.
Just real quick, we gotta get to the oil thing. But Dave, I've seen that episode of Robot Chicken, and there's nothing that says that Tribble was talking out of its mouth.
I didn't know Robot Chicken did a Tribble episode about Joe Biden. Speaking of shitheads, the U.S. oil industry mocks Biden after OPEC Plus. Ooh, I wonder if the plus stands for trans.
Dude. Not if they're only if they're allowed to throw stones at it.
Right? Because welcome to the Middle East. I'm sorry, you cut your what off? Well, we're going to cut your other head off because that's how we roll in Muslimania.
I mean, look, I think there's a lot about Islam that's wrong, but you cannot argue that them fuckers are not consistent.
I'll give you that. They are indeed consistent.
Like, seriously,
consistently
like
violent.
Well,
and nasty.
I can't. I don't want to get derailed on that.
I once watched a man washing his teeth in the river downstream from his buddy who was pissing in the same river.
At least
that's who they are.
Right. Anyhow, so in case you didn't notice, OPEC. I could sum up exactly what OPEC told Joe Biden yesterday. You ready? Ready? That's what OPEC told Joe Biden.
The U.S. Oil and Gas Association mocked President Biden on Wednesday for seemingly having no other options to counter rising gas prices than turning to U.S. oil industry, that his administration is snubbed.
I love that. They've got no option. Oh, God, please, American companies. I know we shit in your Cheerios over and over again, but we're fucked. Please, please.
And amusingly, I'm not going to pull it up to show you. Amusingly, I discovered this morning that if you go and search for graphs that show the average oil price over time, Google, DuckDuckGo, all the search engines, they will show you graphs that show it from like 2000 to 2012, or from the beginning of 2020 to now. But nobody wants to show you the graph that shows you Obama, Trump, Biden. Nobody's got that graph anywhere. But it's pretty painfully obvious when you look at the graph that this isn't by accident. Our oil isn't outrageous. Our gasoline prices are not outrageous because things beyond our control occurred. Obama said explicitly that he wanted gas prices to be outrageous.
Well, Obama specifically said it about coal, but they're all fossil fuel.
He was explicit about gas too. He went out of his way to say we want energy prices, and he was very explicit about gas and coal to be outrageous so that it forces you to choose the alternatives. Alternatives which are not market ready today. Right?
Well, and are just not practical. Like, if you want to use solar power in Arizona and Southern California and Nevada, solar works fucking great out there. But, God, you're screwed if you're trying to use that in, like, Washington State.
Right. Well, it's not complicated. If they were actually interested in clean energy, nuclear would be on the table. But it's not. And it's not complicated. Nuclear is not on the table, and oil is evil because there's a shitload of money in energy, and these scumbags like Obama and Biden and their ilk are hoping that what they can do is create an artificial alternative for that money to get siphoned into.
So their buddies get a slice of it. Oh, yeah, right. It's like the ultimate grift.
It's got nothing to do with clean energy, climate change, any of that. It's purely grift.
Yeah, Wall Street's...
and shunt money to another pocket.
Wall Street's evil until it's time for them to trade carbon credits. Yep. And I do mean, look, it's only a slight exaggeration to say they want to give Wall Street the ability to trade puffs of smoke back and forth so they can still fly on their jets. But we have to ride bicycles to work. Okay? Now, look, there's a couple of layers to this. One, it's going to hurt all of us, and it's going to happen coming up to the election. And for people that drive a lot, I mean, this might be a little painful. Two, as far as what's going to happen this winter, Europe's in a whole lot more trouble than we are.
Yes.
Like, for better or worse.
Like we can be okay down here with just pajamas and warm flannels. Europe is going to have a death toll.
Yeah. Yeah. But then look, there's two things to this, and please, dealer's choice about which of these two you want to react to. One, I've been politically active, aware, however you want to call it, for about 25 years. And for the majority of that 25 years, I've heard this same shit right here. Like when Sarah Palin had this big push to drill in Anwar, for example.
Right.
Well, that'll take like 5, maybe 10 years. Oh. So what I hear you saying is we need to get started right the fuck now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hurry up.
So hurry up, right? And since I've been listening to that for over 20 years, man, I really wish at any point in time over that 20-year period we had gotten started on that.
Right.
But then, two, it's the other thing, and completely unrelated, and yet it is. You think, again, Trump, you think they would have shit in Trump's Cheerios this way? Because I don't.
No. And for one reason. For one major, well, okay, for two major reasons. Because when Trump was moving money globally as the president of the United States, everybody was getting rich, crook or not. And then the other big reason is you don't go to Moab. Don't go to Moab. But
Nope.
the Donald will take you. He'll take you out on a date. Buy a nice steak.
Say that's a
crisp
joke with,
salad,
and that's a joke
and then
with
leave
layers.
your ass in Moab.
Yeah, that's a joke with layers. Go read the Book of Ruth. It's one of the shortest books in the Bible. It won't take you long.
Yeah.
Anyhow, look, but it's not just that. It's easy to say Donald Trump was stupid or whatever, but that's throwaway. That requires
Yeah,
nothing.
Sergeant Major says right now up north, heating a home is like a car payment. Yeah.
But here's the deal, though. Okay, Donald Trump understands how to deal with people, even how to deal with people he might not like, even understanding how to deal with people that might hate his fucking guts, right? But Donald Trump understands how to deal with them. You could argue, why is Donald Trump cozying up to the Saudis? Well, it's simple. Mecca's in Saudi Arabia. You want to have influence over the Middle East. You don't have to have influence over all the countries in the Middle East. You just have to have influence over Saudi Arabia. So it makes sense to have positive relationships with them. And I don't think the Saudis would have done this to Donald Trump because Donald Trump understood that whole Sunni Shia thing, like, that is not something we need to involve ourselves in whatsoever, because
They're going to work it out, or they're going to work each other to death, and that's it.
that could be the same thing.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump understood that. But whenever you start to show favoritism toward Iran, you're at least somewhat implying that you're willing to pick a side in that Sunni Shia conflict, and you're just going to piss off that entire region of the world by doing that. And, by the way, you're not going to stop Iran from being a state sponsor of terror. So, like, it's all the negative and none of the benefit. It's almost like you've got a guy with dementia running the country. Just say it.
Stryker hums Robotech theme. All right, guys. I would like to say more about this, but I really have to get out the door. Thanks for watching today. Make sure you're here tomorrow for Firearms Friday. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.